Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Cyber12, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. In the last episode, we did a showcase on solo leveling part 1. Now, this episode, we're doing just a solo minifig showcase. This time, we're doing Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This is another anime that I really enjoyed watching, and I'm really excited for the next season coming out. Unfortunately, not until next year, but I thought it'd be fun to try and do a minifig of the show, and I think it turned out pretty well. I've seen a couple of other, custom some Frieren minifigures in the community, and I thought it'd be fun to try and give this a shot, and I think it turned out pretty well, with the hairpiece, and the staff, which I'll explain as we progress through this. So, as you guys know the drill, we're going to take this minifigure, do a review, and explain the process, why we went this route, and then go from there. So without further ado, let's get the pedestal out, and get the showcase on the road. So when making this character, I definitely think the toughest parts that I had were doing the headpiece as well as with the staff. So with the staff, we'll go ahead and move it away for now as we focus on with the rest of the character. The hairpiece, I used a twin like pigtail piece as sort of a base, and then what I did was to match up with Frieren's hairstyle, I sanded off the bottom parts as much as I could, and then sculpted on like the rest, sort of like the hairstyle to like extend it and drape it over her shoulders, like she has on the show. But before I did that, I made like this neck piece that's go ahead and move the hair for now. Now underneath though, with the headpiece, I used like a standard minifig head that I think it was more like a neutral kind of expression, a sort of a base. I then painted up in like the flesh skin tone. I painted her eyebrows silver to match up with her hair. I did an ocean breeze for like her eyes. I to sort of match up with kind of like my little trend of doing like colored eyes for specific characters with mostly with anime. And then on here with her neck, I couldn't fully paint up like with her collar piece that sort of matches up with the shoulder, and with like the shoulder pauldron like piece on there. But I did the best I could with like painting it on with white and then adding on with the red dot to connect. Go ahead and remove this here. And with this top part, I took like a cloak cape piece, as sort of like a base, and then traced out with paper and electric tape to get like the overall design for this piece. So go ahead and focus on that. There we go. So you could see of like where the socket head and where the socket would go in for with the head, and then this gold outline all the way on the edging, ending for it. So on the shoulders, get like these little tussle pieces. And he says that I've actually had to repaint and paint a couple of times, mostly with the hairpiece, but you can see on the back, you can see a little bit of detailing underneath. I did a couple of modifications to like try and keep it in one piece, and try to make it as seamless as possible, but wasn't quite as expected. And back here with the hairpiece itself, like you could see underneath, like where I sculpted out with the elven ears. It was a little bit difficult of making this because what I was doing was I wanted the hairpiece to like be removable and not be like fused onto the body like previous stuff that I've had in the past. So a challenge for it was not only of sculpting it on with the rest of the figure, but to also carefully like make sure to like for nothing would like fuse off in place, especially on with this cape piece. So for a couple of times, I like sculpted it on, and then I would just occasionally take it off and let it dry a bit, then put it back on. And thankfully, it actually worked out. I wouldn't have mind if like the ears had fused to the head, but I wanted to make sure that at the very least the hairpiece would just separate easily and wouldn't be difficult to like remove it. So I'm glad it turned out pretty well. But the torso piece is just a simple decal, the same one that I've used for a bunch of other minifigures that I've painted up to match up with Frieren's shirt design. The arms were blank, like white minifig arms to really help up that I just painted on with the gold, and that way she still has articulation. A little bit of paintwork on with the legs, the skirt is like paper and electric tape to sort of match up with a little bit more. I painted on with this belt that she has, and again, the gold outline. And then with the boots, these were regular black minifig legs that I painted on brown on the bottom to represent with her boots, just like on the show, which turned out pretty all right. I do wish that there was a little more articulation, but it's not a huge deal. And then moving on, of course, is her staff, which was a little bit weird. So what I could have done was I could have just gotten like a regular minifig Lego like rod piece and then like sculpted on with the pieces. Took a couple of like Lego pieces and stuck them onto the top and bottom ends of the staff and then added on some clay and glue. But what I did instead was I took like a ladder railing kind of Lego piece Lego piece. It was for like, I think it was the rocket ship from the Overwatch set. And what I did was I took my saw tool, sawed off a portion of it, and basically just called it the staff. The stuff that you can kind of see, like, some of the stuff that I tried to fill in with clay to, like, make it, like, more of a seamless piece. It was probably a ridiculous idea, but at the time, it was kind of like, this'll work. We'll see if it works. It works. With the rest of the stuff on top of here, I sculpted on with the overall, like, I guess it's like a crescent moon kind of shape for her, and then added in this jewel piece that is just and it's just, like, kind of a stud piece that I filled in with clay on the other side, and then painted in this metallic maroon, or like at least a crimson for it, which turned out all right. And then some electric tape to represent a little tassel, a little piece here, and then down here, a little paint up detailing on the bottom end of it. And it's I carefully had to, it's not all like wrapped around in one piece, but I did the best I could for it, which it actually turned out a little better than expected. And yeah, that's overall like with the overall design of it. I think like an additional piece I could have done for this figure would be like maybe her suitcase, or probably a mimic, just as sort of like an additional piece. Based like if you've seen the show or read the manga, you'll know what I'm talking about. But apart from that, this turned out as a really cool figure. And there we go. That's going to do it for this episode of LEGO Arts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a fun project to do. Like I said, I really enjoyed Frieren and wanted to make a minifigure of this. And I think it turned out pretty well. There's a couple of stuff I could have fixed up, like maybe smooth out the fabric piece to try and make it look more like one piece, possibly sculpt on the ears a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with how it turned out, and it was a lot of fun to do. I might do some more characters like this in the future. We'll see how it goes. I definitely do have plans. Like I mentioned last episode, I do have plans to work more on solo leveling, which it's coming along pretty good. And yeah, overall, that's going to be it for now. So, if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. It really, really helps us work on Let's Plays, LEGO projects. I'm really here to have some fun. So overall, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, click over to the share your friends, subscribe if you follow me on Twitch. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time in the next video. Goodbye!